We are starting chapter 2. This is our first lesson. We are talking about parallel lines. We have discussed the alternate interior angles theorem. Pause it if you need to look at it. We've discussed the same side interior angles. Pause the video if you need to look at this. The names really give it away. Alternate on each different sides, and they're on the interior of the parallel lines. Same side, and they're on the interior of the parallel lines. Next. Corresponding angles. They're in the same position, they're the same size. Corresponding angles, they're in the same position, they're the same size. So this here, 1 and 2, are in the same position, but they're, let me go out a little bit. There we go. So 1 and 2 are on the same side, and they're in the same position. They're the same size. Okay. Then alternate exterior. Okay. They're on the outside, the exterior of the parallel lines, and they're on different sides, alternate exterior. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. They're both obtuse. A lot of these you can look at and you can oh, I could figure that one out. I could figure that one out. Okay. So okay, so let's start on notes. Thank you. Hold on, my paper's missing from the printer. All right, so we're gonna start our notes. With some basics, and then we'll talk about some of the rules, which I just went over the theorem, so that won't be too hard. All right, stop and ask questions if you need to. I want to let you know that this week I am going to start the process where you watch the video the night before, and then in class, we go over the notes and do the homework together. So that transition is going to happen this week, okay? I will give you a heads up. Tomorrow we just review 2.1, this, and so it'll start, so today's Tuesday. Tomorrow we're also going over the test, so you'll be able to see your scores and go over, see the right answers. Okay?
It's great.
Yeah.
I didn't finish writing down the theorems, so are you gonna go back?
No, you can look at the YouTube video.
Okay.
All right. And the themes are also in our notes. So here we go. Parallel lines. Parallel lines are lines that never cross. They are equidistant apart. They never touch. They can get closer together, but they're never going to intersect. Okay? Parallel rays would be like an end point and then a line that goes on forever, right? Parallel segments and same size, same distance apart, never cross. Parallel planes, two planes that do not intersect. Okay, they never cross, they're flat surfaces. Okay, so it's like the floor of a room and the ceiling of a room. Those are parallel planes. Okay. Skew lines, skew. So if I have a box, I don't have a box. I can show you my book. The book will work. Okay, so here's a book. This line right here, going up and down at the binding of my book, this line that goes up and down, will never, ever, ever intersect this line right here. This line right here is a horizontal line that's far away. This line right here is a vertical line. They will never intersect. Skew lines are lines that like have absolutely nothing in common, and they're usually things like this. Those would be skew lines. They're not parallel, they're not intersecting, they're just completely different areas. So here we go. Name all the planes that intersect CDK. CDK, I remember I only need 3 points to name a plane. So let's just pick 3 points. CDK. CDK is this vertical plane going up and down. Can somebody give me some that intersect it, that touch it? There's a few. I only really care, let's just list 2 for time purposes, because I gotta go through the whole worksheet. Anna.
Plane ABC.
Sure. Sometimes people name planes by using this. They put like a parallelogram in front of it. Plane ABC, that's 1. And now remember, if you volunteered yesterday, don't volunteer today. The only people that volunteered yesterday, Saeed, Nitya, Elisa, Anna, Tessa, Felicia, Jana, Aaron, Debbie, Patrick, Rella. They volunteered yesterday. They cannot volunteer anymore this week. Everyone else, let's go. Shivashri.
Plane FGK.
FJK, that's the bottom of the shape, FJK. So I'll write it another way, just 3 letters, FJK, without a parallelogram. You can also write it like that. Okay, let's go to number 2. Name all the planes, I just want 2 of them, that are parallel to EBC. EBC is the roof. EBC is the top of my shape. Parallel, there's only 1. Aryan?
Plane HJK.
Sure. 3 letters is all you need. Name all the segments that are parallel to AF. AF is a vertical line that goes up and down. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 other segments that are parallel to AF. Zoe, give me 2 of them.
EH and BG.
MBG, sure. My line didn't look very good right there. I didn't like that. Okay, 2 is fine. Name 2 lines that are perpendicular to FG. FG is the back bottom. FG is the back and the bottom. So, perpendicular to FG. Talk to me, talk to me. Natalia.
BG.
EG?
BG.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. BG forms a 90-degree angle with it. Thank you, Natalia. What else? Elise?
AF.
Yeah. Very good. Name, skew. They're not parallel, they don't intersect, they're like completely going a different way to AB. AB is up here on top, skew. Jaden.
FH.
Yeah, FH. There's so many, it's like I have to make sure, I have to like look at it and make sure myself too. AB, another skew line that's never gonna touch. How about JK? I'll just do that one. Name all the lines. Mary, you can answer the next one. Name all the lines that are parallel to BGC. BGC. This is the right-hand side of my pentagonal prism. Did you guys see that? Pentagonal prism. It's a pentagon and it's a prism. BGC is the right-hand wall, the right-hand side. Mary, do you want to do, Maxie, sorry.
AFH.
AFH is not parallel because it goes at a diagonal. Nicholas.
I was gonna say like DEF or something.
DEF. I couldn't say that plain. That DEF is DEH is a plane. The answer is none, guys. Because look at BGC is the side wall, but because this pentagon, like these two lines right here, if they kept going, they would end up hitting because they're slanted. The sides are slanted. So it's not going to ever hit. It's not. Okay, none. Okay, turn the page. We know all these. These are the theorems that I just talked about at the beginning of the period. So take a look. Okay, ready? Moving right along. This is the fun part. I like this stuff. Like this right here. So fun. Okay, you're gonna say, here's your choices. Let's write them at the top of the page. Alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, corresponding angles, alternate exterior angles. Those are my 4 choices right now. Okay. So we're going to go through, there's a lot of numbers here. And we're just going to go through them to the best of our ability. Ready? 1 and 3. Oof. Okay, you could also say none. Did I just give it away? I mean, you're literally 1 and 3. These lines that, like this transversal and this transversal aren't even connected. Like there's nothing in common with 1 and 3, like at all, ever. So I could say none. Number 8, 6 and 7. Oh, they have to be formed by parallel lines, you guys. 6 and 7, they're not formed by parallel lines. Like these are the parallel lines right here. And I'm gonna mark it up right here. This line and that, those mean parallel lines. When you draw little arrows like that. But honestly, 6 and 7, you guys, nothing. You could put NA.
Question really quick.
Yeah.
Sorry. Did you forget the same side interior angle postulate, or is that just worded as something else?
No, same side interior. Alternate interior. Not alternate. I guess we'll do that. Same side. I did. Interior angles. That's the one that adds up to 180, okay? The same side interior adds up to 180.
I have another question.
Yep.
Can't you also use not for this but for other transversals? You can use like linear pair or vertical angles?
You would use
to
vertical
use-
angles, or if they add up to 180, yep.
Okay.
Yep, that's a good, like everything we've learned, you guys, is fair game. But we're just focusing on these for this lesson for chapter 2. Okay, let's go to number 9, 2 and 7. Okay, 2 and 7, guys, are not formed by parallel lines, so I can't do anything. Man. 4 and 5. 4 and 5 are not vertical, they're not nothing. Finally, number 11, 8 and 10. They're both touching parallel lines. That's what's important, right? Saeed, you've already helped me before. Sunny.
Alternate interior angle.
8 and 10, alternate interior angles. I have to abbreviate, I just don't write that small. 2 and 9. No one? I need efficient volunteers. I've heard from everybody whose hands up right now. I've heard from everybody whose hands up right now. 2 and 9. They're in the same position. Riley.
Corresponding angles.
Corresponding angles. Very good. One and 8. One and 8. I've heard from everybody whose hands up. Reese.
Is it all exterior?
It's not because they're not parallel lines. This line and this line are really an issue because they're not the parallel lines. 8 and 1 have nothing. 14, 4 and 7. Oh, we did this last, Antonella, I thought I saw your hand, no? 4 and 7. This is one from last chapter. I'll tell you, it's vertical. 2 and 6. Ooh, this is a good one. This is from last chapter, 2 and 6.
Is it perpendicular?
They're not perpendicular. 2 and 6 are right next to each other. So think of things that are right next to each other that add up to. Nitya.
They're supplementary angles.
They're supplementary. You could also supplementary many times are vertical or linear pair, I'm sorry. Lastly, 9 and 10. They aren't the same size. They're not formed by parallel lines. These two have to be parallel. It'll be a lot easier when we get to down here. None. Okay. Here we go. 17 through 24. I'm going to assign. That's going to be a lot easier for me. Adam, you are doing number 17. Simra, you are doing number 18. Samantha, you're doing 19. Reese, you're doing 20. Aisha, you're doing 21. William, you're doing 22. Andrea, you're doing 23. Alyssa, you're doing 24. Okay? So take a look at what you've got. Okay, P and Q are parallel, and they are cut by transversals. Okay? Adam, number 17. 7 and 10.
7 and 10.
Here's the parallel lines. Let's not even look at this over here. Okay, here's the parallel lines, P and Q. This is my transversal. So what does 7 and 10 have in common?
What's it called? 7 and 10.
You can look at the top of the paper, you can look right here. Seven and 10 are on the transversal. Are they on the same side? Are they alternate sides?
They're on the same side?
They are, because here's the transversal, 7 and 10 on the same side. Are they the exact same measure, or do they add up to 180?
They add up to 180.
They do add up to 180. That one was called the same side interior angles right here. I don't know if you can see. They're on the same side and they're on the interior. Same side interior. Good. All right. Number 18, Simra.
Wouldn't it just be NA because like they're not?
What?
It would just be NA.
It would be nothing. These lines aren't parallel. P and Q are the only parallel lines here. Good. 19. 6 and 12. They are cut by parallel lines. Oh, I'm sorry. Samantha.
I put corresponding angles.
Well, they're the same size.
Is it none because they're going to intersect?
They're
Or
alternate. No, 5 and 11 are the alternate interior. 6 and 12 are the same size, but there's really not. Okay. They are the same size. They are, I guess, alternate interior angles, I could say, but yeah, alternate interior angles. But 5 and 11 are also alternate interior angles. Okay. 20 is Reese.
Is it none?
It's none. Those sure seem like they would be like, yeah, they're both obtuse. How can two obtuse angles add up to, no, none. They're not the same. They're not going to add up to anything special. 9 and 15. Ooh, 21 is Aisha. Nine and 15. Aisha, are you there? Aisha, your mic is on, off. Aisha, can you at least acknowledge that you hear me or that you're here or something, that you're alive? Okay, you need to speak, Aisha. Like, turn your mic off. Please talk. You guys, come on. Okay, Aisha, you will earn no points unless something's, I don't know, something's majorly wrong I don't know about. Oh, you got to get it fixed. You got to get it fixed. Go change out your Chromebook, okay? Go to school, go to the library, change out your Chromebook. You can't use that excuse forever. Come on. 9 and 15, I'll do it. 9 and 15 are vertical angles. Okay, 22 is William. 11 and 12.
Supplementary.
Supplementary angles, yep. Ooh, that was super messy. Supplementary. 9 and 11. Okay, please notice that these are not the parallel lines. That would be Andrea. 9 and 11.
None.
None. 24. 16 and 12.
It would also be none.
Yeah, if the lines were parallel, if these up and down lines were parallel, then I could say something, but they're not the same size.
Miss, correct?
Yeah,
For 22, could you also put linear?
linear pair, yep. Okay, number 25. That was an excellent way for us to like get through. So many people volunteering, just a sign. 1 and 4. Okay, so 1 and 4 are cut by a transversal. I want to let you know that the parallel lines that matter are these two or these two. Okay, so on number 25, I'm going to say that angle 1 and angle 4, yes, they are congruent only if line BD, nope, BA, I'm sorry, BA and CD. And then they're on the interior. See how they're like this? The transversal is BD. Okay. So it's going to be BA is parallel to CD. All right, angle 2 and angle 3. Angle 2 and angle 3 are formed when BC and AD are parallel. And here's these angles, 2 and 3. I double lined it so that you could see the difference. Those are congruent. The transversal is again BD. Okay. All right. Last bits. Parallel postulate. If there is a line, line M, and a point not on the line, point P, then there's exactly one line through the point parallel. So I can then say, if I have a point and then I have a line, I can draw a parallel line through the point. So I drew N. right? Next one, perpendicular postulate. If there's a line and then a point through it, I can make a perpendicular line. So this point, I would just draw a perpendicular line like that. Okay. Perpendicular postulate. All right, parallel planes theorem, read it on your own. Okay. Two parallel planes are cut by a third plane, then the lines of intersection are parallel. That means that things that intersect AR and CD, those would be parallel. If the planes are parallel, then AR and CD are parallel. Okay. So there's lots happening here. Lots of different angles to talk about. So your homework is this. I would actually like you to start it right now while we're sitting here in class. Remember, the lines must be parallel for it to say that they're equal or that they're the same size or something like that, okay? So stay in the class, like don't, you know, leave. And lines must be parallel. So go ahead and start this.
Miss Grant, what are the first 4 questions asking?
Identify the pairs of lines. So, okay. To which each given line is a transversal. So I have line P, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it says line P, where is, like what would a transversal be for line P? So the only thing that hits line P is line T. So the answer number 1 would be like line T.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you're doing it on a piece of paper, do you have to write down the question?
No, that would be way too much. Lots of that was too much writing.
Or do we just write the answer right next to it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you.
Arian, don't use the chat to ask questions. Ask out loud. Because people don't have time to be like, oh, the chat's going on. What is the chat saying? Like they're focused on their own work. So on 5 through 8, they're asking about, okay, 7 and 10, I could say are alternate interior angles, but they're not equal. So the problem is that when we talk about it in the future, they're always going to be equal. So 7 and 10, some people might say, oh, but they're on the opposite sides of the transversal and they're on the interior of 2 lines, but those lines aren't parallel. Okay. So there are differences in this. I am not having you say that they're alternate interior angles because alternate interior angles need to be equal as far as I'm concerned. But there are other geometry teachers that would say that 7 and 10 are alternate interior angles. 1 and 5 could also be said that they're corresponding, but the problem is they're not equal. And whenever we talk about corresponding angles, they should be equal. Whenever we use them in a proof, they're equal. So that's an issue that we have with 1 and 5. 4 and 6, some people might say are same side interior, but they don't add up to 180. So then it's like, well, so they're not practical and they're not usable. And that's what we go off of. I want to be able to use them and say, oh, look, they're the same measure. Oh, they add up to 180. So what I want you guys to put for 5 through 8 is none, but you need to know that they have a relationship, but they're just not equal. 8 and 1, I could say alternate exterior angles, but usually alternate exterior angles are equal. So.
Is that the same for 18 to 25?
'18 through 25. Ay. Okay. Let's do this. On my answer key, I put the relationship like alternate interior, but they're not equal. I don't want you guys to think that all alternate interior angles are equal. They should be, and that's what we're going to deal with. But if you're talking about, well, how are they like related? Can I compare the two? For 18 through 33, I actually want you to say what the relationship is, but just remember they're not equal. 18 through 20, 18 through 33. Put down how they're related, like alternate interior or corresponding, but just remember they're not the same. They don't add up to 180. Like number 18 is corresponding, but they're not the same size. They're not formed by two parallel lines. But some geometry teachers would say, oh, but they're fine. They're still corresponding, but it's tricky. You might, tomorrow when we do this, just keep that in mind, but I do want you to put their relationship, but just remember they're not equal. And even on 5 through 8, my answer key says this. I'll show you what my answer key says on 5 through 8. But I'm just so hesitant to let you think that because most of the time alternate interior angles are equal. Corresponding angles should be equal. But if we're just talking about how are they related on a line, technically I guess they are corresponding, but they're not equal corresponding. But I'm accepting NA for 5 through 8, so don't worry about that. And again, if the homework is different or off, or you wrote something different than I wrote, then that's okay. But on the back side, I do want you to put their relationship, even though they're not equal. Okay, class is, guys, oh my gosh, class is over. Armando, can you please respond to my 2 messages that I have sent you, please? Armando.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to respond to my private chat messages that I've asked you, please. All right, everybody else, you guys can go. It's past time.
So we have to finish every single question?
You do. You have to finish every single question.
Okay.
Miss
Wow.
Grant,
Yeah.
for future references, I should be printing out notes before class.
If you have a printer and you are able, if not, you can do it on line paper or on Cami.
And we turn in homework daily?
Yes.
And is it through that, I think I saw it on Google Classroom, I'm not sure which one it was. I'm not sure. Is there like an assignment? Is it the digital notebook?
Attached. It's on page 3 of today's notes. Like
it's in my homework?
This paper right here was on page 3. That's your homework.
But where do I turn it in?
Oh, there's this thing called Google Slides, and it says chapter 2 homework turn in. Okay, Armando, you can go. Just try and be here every day. Okay? So, real quick, you're brand new, right, Maria?
Yes.
Okay. Your 0 period. So you're going to go to classwork, and it's on homework turn in on the left. Basically, it's called the digital notebook, and you take a screenshot of your actual homework paper and you upload it onto the Google slide.
Okay.
So it's a digital turn in.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
You're welcome.